So this is an attempt to show you how to analyze video in Logger Pro. When you open up Logger Pro, the first thing you need to do is actually insert the movie that you've made. So you go to Insert, and then there's an option for Movie. So click Insert Movie, and then you have to actually find where the movie is on your computer. Hopefully it's on your desktop or something like that. The video that I'm going to use for this example is right here. And when you see this, I'm going to actually make the video larger because then it allows me to be a little bit more precise with the selection of points. When I play the video, you can go ahead and see that it actually imported just fine. But you'll notice that, you know, the whole video is not necessary. We're only going to use a portion of the video. So I'll show you how we can address that. The first thing you do is click on the button in the bottom right that has the 3 red dots. This is the button that enables you to do video analysis. You'll see that these buttons have now appeared on the right side of the screen. Now we need to go ahead and find in the video where we want to start. And that is a very important thing because that is going to be the beginning of our motion. And so I'm going to use this backwards button here to reverse 1 frame at a time. And I'm going to look for the time or the spot in the video where the student's hands are released and the cart is now, or the buggy in this case, is moving on its own. So it looks like I could say that maybe this frame, you see I had to go back and forth a little bit, this frame is the one that I'm going to consider the starting point. And so I want to make my origin obvious. And there's a button here, this is the 3rd button down, that says Set Origin. When I click on that, I get a little crosshairs, and I'm going to make the origin the center of this wheel. And you'll see that the crosshairs of our axes appear. And there's a little yellow dot that indicates the positive x-axis. I'm going to click on that and actually twist the axis a little bit because the perspective of my camera, we always want the positive x-axis. Usually we want that to be in the direction of the motion. So I'm going to rotate it a little bit to be in line with the meter stick. And you can see now that these are my coordinate axes and that buggy is going to be traveling in the positive x direction. Now, second from the bottom is a button that says Show Origin. I'm going to turn that off so that it hides the axes that I just established. The next thing is now we're going to go ahead and start adding the points. So clicking on this button second from the top where it says Add Point, I can go ahead and pick my characteristic point from the buggy, click on it, it will frame advance, and I can keep doing this process. If you want to skip a frame, you can skip a frame. I would not recommend skipping more than 1 frame in between clicks. But you can, if you have a lot of points that are really close together, you could certainly go ahead and skip a frame if you still can end up with at least 10 or 15 data points. Ultimately, the more data points you can get, the better your result is going to be. And because this process is pretty quick, you can do this pretty smoothly without too much of a difficulty. So I'm going to go ahead now, and for the sake of time, I'm going to show you, well, what if you misclick? Well, if you click the white arrow right above that, the topmost button, and then select the point you don't like, it'll actually have a little ring around it, and then you can hit the delete key, and that point will be deleted, and go back to adding points. So this is what our process is like for the construction of the data, the measuring of the data. Now, the one thing you might recall is that everything is being measured in pixels, so we have to tell the computer what the scale is. The 4th button from the top is the Set Scale button. When you click on that ruler, we have a meter stick in the frame. Click and drag across that meter stick and tell the computer this is the distance of 1 meter. You hit OK, and then that will go ahead and turn everything into meters for our position information. And then to show everything at once, you go to Page, Auto Arrange, and then now we can see the data table, we can see the plot, and we can see the video in this situation. And from here, you go ahead and analyze as normal. I can show you how to adjust the timing of this because we started taking video at 5 seconds. So I will show you how to do the scaling of this when you are ready.